Hey everyone, another video to teach you as BD owners how you can do a couple of things on the BD site. I saw on the Facebook group today, Sylvia was asking how they can integrate the following animation. It's like a number counter. Okay. Um, I would do it just with JavaScript, but that would basically kill everybody that doesn't have a base in programming. So I'm gonna do it in a very quick way, and then I'm gonna show you how you can integrate that in multiple pages and other ideas about it. Okay. So first I'm gonna do the number, just the number. So we're gonna go to our testing site here, open the toolbox, widget manager, and we're going to create a widget, a little widget that's gonna be called counter. Oh my. Let's save that puppy, and while that's being saved, let's create a page here, also called counter. Counter. And that widget that we just created, so we can use it here or anywhere else, but at least for testing purposes, we call it like this here. Okay, you put square bracket, widget equals the name of the widget, counter. Save that. Sometimes you gotta click like twice to save changes thing here. There we go. Okay, so now we have the page ready to test that. I go here, and the first that I look for, and that reminded me, in order for you to have a really nice count, let's say count two script, I recommend there's a specific one that I use for BD sites. It's called jQuery count 2, and it's this one, M Huggins. M Huggins. So if we click there, takes me here. And here we can see the code and this and that and blah blah blah. Okay. What we want first is to get, type this here, CDN. It has CDN for this thing. Okay, just in case it's not the counter up, it's the count 2, specifically that count 2. It's this one. Yeah, I think it's this one. That's the last. Okay, go to the last version. Get that baby out, and we're gonna start building this thing. So first we do this. Just in case, I'm gonna zoom in so you can see um, the text. Just in case. Horrible, but anyway, you get my point. Yeah, you can actually see the text now. Okay, we got that script there, and now we're gonna just follow through whatever the original developer actually mentioned. So he says to create the element like that and call it like this because of the JavaScript. Okay, so just count 2. Analyze this here. I just want to simplify it for you guys. Okay, we've got data attributes. Okay, so we can use this one, but I can clean it up. I don't want you guys to put in so much garbage code there. So we don't need this. We also need to create the element that we're going to be targeting. Create a little div. well, actually, we need to put data from. We're gonna start from 0, data 2, say 5,000. Data speed. I believe that's how long it takes to get there. So let's just put 3.5 seconds or something. And then data refresh interval. Guessing it's guessing that's how often the numbers change. 50 or less milliseconds. It is. And then we put a class. Let's say company. Okay. I'm sorry. This just looks weird if I leave like. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see the code. Still see the code. I mean. Here we need to put count up. Okay. We don't need this. We need none of that. We also don't need this one. We need the format because I want to see something when it gets to 1,000. If it shows the comma separator there. I think we're done. In theory, this should work. So in 11 lines, we got a little count, and we're gonna double check here. We're gonna go here, click there, see how it looks. Nothing happened. See any errors? Just double check everything here. Put just a 0 there so I know that the element. 2, 5,000, count up. Oh, count me. Sorry. Okay, let's refresh. At least we'll have the little 0 there. There you go. Look at that baby. Okay. So we got a little count thingy. Let me remove this one. We have a little count there. Okay. Now we gotta get a little bit more creative. So we're gonna add the same page. We're gonna add this little heart. Okay. To add that little heart, I mean, you can add an image, you can add whatever you want, but in this particular case, that's a SVG image, the vector image. So I'm just gonna grab the div element, right click, copy, and I'm gonna copy the outer HTML. Then I'm gonna paste that monster here. Okay, it's gonna look very horrible because it's SVG. Okay, this drawing, if you ever use an Apple II computer or something, you remember the little turtle, the little turtle game where you drew with a little turtle. That's what this is, basically. So this up here is the SVG. Because the SVG will grow really big, I need to put like a constraint here. So let's put here heart. Call that heart. I'm gonna create a little style here for the heart. I'm gonna say, well, any element that has heart class, make their width 100 pixels, for example. For now, let's refresh. Refresh here. Okay, we got a little heart there. We want to center this also, and we want to make it probably bigger. So let's do that too. So for the count me in. Let's, well, actually, yeah, let's make the center. We gotta make sure that it's same width. Let's do text align center. Let's put the font size 4 maybe. Font family, of course, I would say Ubuntu. Software engineer, that area. Let's make the font size, the font weight, bold, bold and the beautiful. And I think that's it. You can play around with that one. Let's see what's gonna happen because I don't know. We'll still need to add the comma there. And there's another. Okay, let me double check the centering. Text, align. Oops, I've got this here. Okay, in theory, it should be centered now. There we go. Look at that beautiful baby. Okay, so I don't like it when it gets to that uh, number there, and there's no comma, and there's no anything. There's a specific JavaScript library called numeral. Numeral. If you go to numeralJS.com, you'll end up here. The only thing that you need to get from there is just copy this here, and then we can put that baby, let's say here, and then here there's an area for the format. It's very straightforward. It's super straightforward. This thing here. Okay, so there's this one. On the return, we say numeral, that whole value, okay? And then we just follow exactly what it says here. Format, this is the format that I want. Format and numbers, comma number. Second, everything looks good. Fresh, save it. Fresh now. Let's see what's gonna happen. It should show the comma there. Well, in theory, no? Yay! Look at that. And then we can put a little text down here or something. By the way, up to this point, you now have an image. You can have an image if you wanted to. A count. Uh, the speed at which it counts is this one. So if I do something like 13 seconds, it's gonna take 13 seconds to get to the maximum number that you put there. Okay. See. Well, that's being loaded. You also need to know that you could customize the maximum number and the minimum number with PHP, for example, to say how many members you have, how many posts have been created in the last week, um, how many views somebody has had, how many, whatever you want there. Let me put this back to that number. And you can also, because of the way that the code was done here, you can create multiple elements similar to this. Okay. So I'm just gonna do something with the bootstrap part here so you can see the point that I'm about to make. If I do this, if you know about bootstrap, you know that there's 12 columns and I'm using 2. That means that I can have as many as have this 6 elements on the same row. If I do this, so I'm gonna save this just to make sure that everything is working correctly, and then I'm gonna create another heart with another counter. Yep, correctly. So I just copy that part from above. Here's the other one. I'm gonna save it. You can copy it as many times as you want, up to 6 per row. Could be 3, 4, 5, whatever. Okay. And also, since they're independent, you can also change the values to where they're supposed to be getting to. So you can do something like that, and you can do something like this. So it takes an additional second, maybe 2 more seconds. Okay. And they could be different things. How many members you have, how many visits they've had, um, so on and so forth. So just press this. You get my point there. See? They're working independently. So I'm just gonna put it back because now we need to go to the actual part. Now that you have this whole widget, counter widget, you want to put it in different places. Um, so we're gonna go to my sample member here. And maybe, for example, you want to showcase that maybe underneath the is for some reason you want to show it there. His logo or image or something. Click the magnifying glass here, and we go to member profile header. Header. Okay. Profile header. We customize that one. Then we're just gonna look for where the profile image shows. I know this is getting a little bit more complicated, but it's the idea. Then we say here, at least for now, I'm gonna put it here. I don't know what's gonna happen. Widget equal counter. Widget equals counter. Fresh. Cache. And let me remove the widgets so we don't see them. See what's gonna happen. There you go. See? So now this member can see how many views they have. Wow, my God. It has so many views. Awesome. You can put it in different places. It's up to you guys. But at least you have now have the base, how to construct this whole thing. Again, you do not need such a huge garbage information here. This is just an SVG. You could have used, for example, let me see if this is a normal image. Okay, this is a normal image. We could have gotten that image. For example, let me um, put that one here. This, and remove all this, all that, and all that, and it could end up looking like this. There's an image above, then below, and we refresh. You see how it looks. And then the image died, apparently. Lol. So let's add a, let me just put a class here, heart. And then on the heart, yeah, width 100, but we're also gonna put a min width in case of 100. I think 100 much for that little image. Do something like that. Save that. Let's refresh here. Okay, so we got, yeah, we gotta put 100. I mean, it's moved over here because it's 50 versus a width of 100. That's why you're seeing that difference there. If we needed to move this a little bit over there, we could say, for example, put a margin here. Margin left 25 pixels, more or less, and there you go. So now you have the little thing center there. Assuming we would get this type of image, or you want to use that type of image there. Okay. So anyway, here's the idea. In less than what 30 lines, you have two libraries. The code here for the counter, styling for both the image and the other one. And now you can put it in different places. When people go to their site, I mean their public profile in this case, and they're like, oh wow, look at that baby. Okay. So hopefully this video will help a lot of people. Again, I'm trying to do a little bit of zoom here. So you can see the code. You can pause it if you want to, although it looks really horrible on my screen like that. Yeah, and that's it. I mean, literally everything fits on this whole box. Here you can take a picture or something. And that's it. So big hugs. Think positive to everybody, and thank you, Sylvia.